Don't be that. Don't be that.
Don't be somebody who hits him up on Messenger.
This is not. I'm not talking about you. I'm not talking about you.
What we're going to talk about is everything you can imagine. Karate lifestyle, karate growing up.
FaZe Sensei.
If you wanna sit down on the floor too, I can.
Yeah, dude.
Give him mine.
I was like, hey, I can't breathe. Let's talk.
And let me tell you, and it's not the fact that you're out of shape.
It's a different pace.
When you go to other gyms, when you go to other schools, you don't know what to expect, right?
Anxiety is through the roof.
The anxiety's through the roof. You don't know what to expect. Cause I've been to gyms, not schools.
Yeah.
And people trying to rip your head off, and it's man, it doesn't make it fun,
Yeah, what is your someone who's one of the best fighters in the world? There's always a question about sparring, and you're a striker, so it's not like you're a grappler where it's like you can spar full out. You know what I'm saying? On grappling and avoid injury for the most part. So your take on like controlled sparring and guys going super hard. So this is like the majority. I'm assuming you do some like hard sparring.
We do, but we always keep it light to the head.
Yeah.
We really work the legs. We work. You can condition from here down.
Yeah, you can't condition your brain.
You cannot condition your brain. And most of the pro fighters that I've talked to, Forrest Griffin, what's the guy that ate your banana, dude?
Gary Goodridge.
Gary Goodridge.
Well, you gotta bring that up. I was like 10.
I know,
it scarred me forever.
We were going up an elevator, and my brother,
he just scarfed my banana on one bite.
Yeah,
dude.
I know Gary Goodridge. So we were in Canada, and I was there in a kickboxing fight, and I ended up beating the guy in the first round or something like that. And we ended up going to an MMA event, and it was Tito Ortiz versus Big Daddy Goodridge, Team USA versus Team Canada. So I got to go out there and train and work out with these guys. We're going up an elevator, and Tony's getting ready to eat this banana, and Gary Goodridge goes, "Hold up," peels it, takes a huge bite out of that, and gave it back to Tony. Tony's like 10. He's like, he ate his banana, man. He's like, what?
Crushed my
He's
banana.
like, see you later, dude.
Expecting like
nice to meet you.
But back to the sparring.
Want my Coke? It's okay, you can have it.
No.
Really, you can have it.
Yeah.
There are days like today. Nobody's in camp, though. Of course, with everything going on, fights have been canceled. So days like today is a learning day for sure. Where you get to use techniques you normally don't use and be able to use it out here in sparring in a safe situation. That's something you don't want to do in a live, a harder sparring session. You're not going to be able to throw.
Then he goes. I'm like, you need to show me that. What was that?
Yeah. Right.
So
in camp, I'll do. That's when it really starts to pick up. I usually do it like an 8-week training camp.
Yeah.
Earlier on, we keep it light, and then mid-training camp we really pick it up. And I'll do grinders, which is where I'm getting a fresh guy in every 2 minutes.
Yeah.
A fresh guy.
Yeah.
And that really puts you in a mindset where in tough situations. Because in the UFC, it's funny. Even at the highest level, you see guys put in tough situations. I don't know if it's their ego. They don't want to be put in those uncomfortable situations. And they fail. They're looking for a way out in the fight.
Right.
For instance, Khabib, if you fight Khabib, he's going to put you in an uncomfortable situation. And I see guys looking for a way out.
Yeah,
I'm pretending to protect my neck. I'm going to turn my back. Oh, here's the choke. I'm pretending to protect it, and they get choked out.
Yeah, right.
So they're looking for a way out.
Sure.
And that's the mindset I had. It's uncomfortable,
right?
But you have to be uncomfortable.
With
being uncomfortable. You have to be comfortable with it. You gotta be comfortable with being uncomfortable.
We got here early, so we did a reaction video to your highlights.
Oh, which one? Which highlight?
Was it top 10?
Was it top 5?
It might have been top 5, top 10. Yeah, something like that. It had even Luke in it.
Oh wow, it must be fairly recent.
Yeah, so it's pretty new.
Nice.
But yeah, funny thing, the first fight of yours I had watched live was Rory McDonald. And I had nobody to watch it with. I was sitting at a bar next to this lady who had started taking kickboxing 4 days ago, it seemed like. And I'm sitting there watching this in a bar alone, just like chilling. And this lady goes, like, Rory like, doesn't even know the guy's name. It's like, he won that round.
Rory won the round?
Yeah, I was like, anyway, so I've got like my karate shirt on. Yeah. And I was like, I don't know about that. And she's like, keeps going and going and going. And I was like, okay. And I was like, I don't remember what the exact round was, but I called it, and I was like, this is the scorecard. And she goes, yeah, right. And then sure enough, I was like, yeah.
That was it.
You call it?
I called it. Dude, no way.
So you met the people that are on Twitter?
Yeah,
in real life.
Yeah, right.
It's funny, man. I'll have,
incredible.
After fights or before a fight. You get these people online, especially hit you up with the DMs. Don't be that. Don't be that.
Don't be somebody who
All
hits him up on
Okay,
Messenger.
This is not. I'm not talking about you. I'm not talking about you. You know what you're talking about.
So,
For one, you know, you get these guys, and you go to their Instagram
Private.
and either it's private or they have no followers, or it's like
Just a bunch of dog pictures.
yeah,
Yeah.
dog pictures,
Yeah,
and they tell you what you should have done. You should have done this. You need to do this. You need to do that. They'll break the whole fight. I'm like,
God,
man,
the nerve.
people just don't know what they don't know.
Yeah.
You know, they think watching fights on a regular basis, they know what they're talking about.
Yeah, right.
But unless you're in the situation and you fought and you've trained for years, just be quiet.
So, you guys don't know this, but like, I was probably 20.
Oh my
How old are you?
25.
Okay.
So it was 5 years ago. I was young and dumb. I'm still young and dumb.
For the Rory fight, right?
Before it
the
was
Rory
after
fight?
the Rory fight.
Okay.
I had watched like a karate fighters in the UFC compilation, and then I was like, oh, this guy's cool. Because like I was watching, I was like, that guy's not really my style. That guy's not really my style. Then I watched Gunner, I was like, that's close. And then it was you, and I was like, oh, and like it stuck. So I started implementing stuff that you had done,
sweet, man.
and then I had watched the Rory fight. It was like, okay, real deal. And then I was watching Woodley. I'd watched the Rory fight. Don't ever do this. Don't ever. I had messaged him, been like, dude, great fight. I would have loved to have seen. And mind you, like since I was 3, I'd done karate, but I've never been in that capacity. So if you don't know that capacity, shut up. And he was very nice and gracious, and he was just like, hey, thanks, bro.
Man, I tried to, man. You know what? It's funny because I you know, people hit me with it, especially after a fight, dude. I try and answer all of them. I'll go through and I'll answer everybody who's been up there. Sometimes it gets to the point where you can't answer all of them. It's like
my God, it's
impossible. So I'm just like, all right, I have to. I don't want to hit the delete, but I got to delete it.
Yeah,
but I
yeah,
can't.
yeah.
There's no way.
Right. And I'd be willing to bet I was there at one point. But what's really funny is I became very fanboy, where like I was invested very deeply in like rooting for my karate guy.
Yeah.
And I had watched Tyron Woodley's stuff, and there was an interview where I saw Tyron Woodley very early. He was like, yeah, I'm just gonna stand with him. And I was like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. And I immediately copied it and sent it to you. And you were like, I said it. I said, hey man, he said he was gonna stand with you, and you responded. I was like, you were like, where did you say that?
Yeah, where? It's because I've seen guys say they'll do stuff to use it as a ruse. You know, like, oh, I'm gonna stand and bang, so I don't work on my. I don't know why they think that. It's like, why wouldn't I work on my?
Yeah, right.
I'm getting ready to fight one of the best wrestlers in the division.
Yeah, right.
And he ended up taking me down. I threw a lazy leg kick in the first round, right?
I remember.
I tried to feint it.
I remember like it was.
I didn't expect him to do it. I thought he was just gonna drop his hand. I was like, all right, but next he's gonna go to the head. But he ended up catching it, getting me down. That guy. After that, I actually hired a strength and conditioning coach. I just felt felt like a little kid.
Well,
he was so freaking strong, bro.
He's
170. Doesn't
yeah, right.
And he's like 5'6" or something, or 5'7".
Yeah.
And just this wide.
just a bundle of muscle.
Oh, dude, I remember I tried to get out. I wasn't moving.
I remember I saw that it was like he had body locked you, I think, against the cage.
Yeah. Oh, that was the second fight too.
And I was like, you can just see it. I'm like.
And he had my hand behind me. He had grabbed my hand, so his head was here, and he like reared back like he was gonna hit me in the face, and his head was here. So I literally moved my elbow like not even an inch, just enough to where I could hide my head behind his head. You know, and that saved me right there. If I would have stayed there, he would have just crushed me. I remember bringing it up and hid my head, and then I ended up working my way back up my feet.
Yep.
And Tyron actually talks about this in one of his interviews. I had him up against the cage, and I had my hand over his shoulder, kind of pinning him there.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, I felt this excruciating pain in my finger. He bit my finger, like hard, and I felt. And in his interview, he was like, in his interview, he was like, you know what? I just saw his finger there. I don't know why, but I just bit it. I'm like, what? Anyway,
that's crazy.
I felt like such a pansy. I go, ow, ow, Jesus. In the fight, I was like, ow.
Nice.
And I was like, he's like, oh, sorry. I was like, it's okay. Just keep fighting. We just kept on fighting. Yeah, nobody saw it. It's all good.
Just an accidental tap.
Oh, I felt like a pansy, man. It was great.
You're talking about wearing yourself out, watching your feints in sparring, watching that first T-Wood fight. The whole time I was sitting in Dave & Buster's, I was
Yeah.
like, 'cause I knew that like if those punches were coming, so every time it was just it's weird how like you can. I'm sure you feel it too.
You
where you're
make
just like,
guys.
Gosh,
We were setting this up. He's like, my hamstrings.
my
I'm not gonna be able to kick.
Oh, it's
Whack.
so hard not
like
to.
nice and chill.
I was out there like lifting my leg. I'm like, I can't kick. Dad's like, don't kick, man, don't kick. But yeah, man, I ended up freaking injuring even more trying to kick Seth over here.
We were in the middle of the first one, and I was like gas tank empty, and I saw you look at your dad, and you went, and I felt like I was a batter, and you were like, the catcher was calling out pitches, and you were like,
no.
I was like, what is?
I'm gonna kill your family.
I was like, what did he say no to?
He's over here. He needs somebody to steal some signs for him. Get a trash can.
Right, yeah.
Here comes the sidekick.
Right,
Which
yeah,
is
little
crazy.
Mike.
Check this out. Which my dad will do that to different fighters, right? He'll just walk around, and you're looking at your opponent, right? But you always want to keep your peripheral open to whatever.
Yeah.
A lot of times when you're out there, and coach will sit there just on the side, and he'll call out commands without saying it, and you got to use your peripheral to be able to see it.
Yeah.
You know, he was actually calling for me to fake the hook kick and side kick, right? But I'm like, my leg can't do it right now.
Oh,
Nope.
that's what that
I'm
was.
like,
Okay.
no, can't do it.
That's one of my favorites, is to just like come up high
And then
drop in.
Oh,
Yeah,
100%, man.
What's it like having, since we're all in the similar boat, having pops? You know?
right. This is a Pops karate trio.
That's right.
I think it's great, man. I mean, what else, you know, when you're doing something with your pops,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? Like not a whole lot of people can do that. You know, they do that nowadays. Either dad's too busy or kid thinks he just
so
knows, you know, dad's uncool. They go and hang out with their friends, but this is something that we can do ourselves, you know? It's a family thing.
Yeah, in the restaurant, in the grocery store, all of a sudden, like, cause we do like collie, so we'll do like flows, you know, like drills.
In the
hand
grocery store?
trapping. So like when I was a kid, he would just always be like, he would just, you know, grocery store, and all of a sudden he goes to chop, and all of a sudden we're doing a hand trapping flow.
Dude,
and
that's
all
dope, bro.
of a sudden he's holding his hands up like constantly, or he would be at a restaurant, one of my favorites, and my stepmom would always get upset, but he would just be sitting there. It would be me or him, and we'd take the butter knife, and then he would turn it and flip it. So let's hold it this way.
Always
Right here.
Do
And
something.
then we would do like a disarm like control because of our collie background. Yeah. But it's so funny. I remember when I must have been like 7th, 8th grade when I realized, oh wait, like not everyone has like you know that.
Yeah,
and that for me was like, okay. Because when you're younger, sometimes you're like, oh, okay, dad.
Yeah.
You know, but for me, that hit me, and I was like, man, not everyone has a dad that you can train with, and also just like, I remember we had like 6 kids in the house, both parents.
6?
Yeah, my stepmom was a black belt, my dad's a black belt, all the kids were all black belts, and
Wait, your
like-
stepmom was too?
yeah,
Dude, that's dope.
My mother.
Now, was she a
Same
black belt
situation.
before?
No, she started with
okay.
him.
That's
And
cool.
then the alarm went off in the house, right? So like it's a burglary. Now, all the kids' reaction, we all get up and we're excited.
Let's go.
We get up like
Battle
this.
Royale.
We just want to see dad.
Oh, you want to
Go
see
back,
dad?
right? Because we never saw dad compete. He only competed when he was younger.
Yeah.
He did boxing actually when he was younger. So and in like the contact karate days. So we're like, he's like, get back in your room. We're like, come on. And he's like, get back in your room. And then I remember going to school talking about it, and my friends were like, what are you, like, that's crazy. We would be freaking out. And I remember thinking like, oh yeah, like not everyone was like, oh,
Dude.
I can't wait to see that,
Yeah.
you know. So I'm into like super appreciative. When I was a kid, I was always like, my dad's watching me, always on me. But
Yeah.
as I got older, I was very, very appreciative now.
When I was a kid, I hated karate. I didn't like it because
Wow.
it was mandatory for us. I got 2 brothers and 2 sisters, and we started martial arts at 3. We lived in their house. Sweeney, see you, brother.
Yes, sir. I will see you
Yes,
again.
sir.
Thank you, sir.
Always looking fresh, man. Always looking sharp.
Kill me with a spinning back.
Dude, man, I mean, my dad would always kind of sat with me, and my dad told me this at a young age. He's like, man, my dad always told me, my grandfather told my dad, I won't be around forever. Spend as much time with your pops as awesome, as much as you can. And my dad never did. And next thing you know, his dad's gone at, age of, early 20s. So, and he tells me that, and I like to consider myself an observant person, try and learn from other people's mistakes.
Yes, sir.
So even though, he's, in here, he's coach.
Yeah.
He's Mr. T. I don't call him dad. I don't call him pops.
That's right. He's Kiyoshi.
Yeah.
my Kiyoshi in the dojo,
Yes,
dad
sir.
at home. Yes, sir.
Outside, he's pops, man.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And you got to learn to balance that. And
It has its moments.
it does have its moments, man.
You know.
And what father
Dad
son
just says that thing where you're just like,
makes you mad.
shut up, dude. I know.
Yeah. He didn't used to teach me a lot when I was younger. He always wanted to have like another instructor. 'Cause when I was really young, so like obviously like Little Dragons, Little Tigers, right?
Yeah.
I mean, back at that time, no one was teaching kids. I was the first like Little Dragon that he started. I was 4. So I was like the guinea pig. So he's like, someone else needs to teach that kid, or I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna kill
you know what
him.
I'm saying? In the 90s, you know.
Yep.
What's up, Bat Squeezy?
But, yeah, that's just awesome to see, you know, with having a dad be the instructor and
Man,
how that works.
I see
you know?
I see it in a lot of other sports like boxing, for instance. You
Right.
know, Roy Jones Jr., Mayweather.
Yes.
I see a lot of these father-son duos, and I don't know it's because they don't work out.
Yeah.
And I think maybe the son maybe thinks he feels like he knows more because he's got more success from his dad, knows more than what Pops is bringing to the table.
Yeah.
Man, if I look at my dad, man, he's been fighting for, you know, since the early 70s. Like,
Yeah.
there's no way. I mean, he's got so much, and he's been training fighters, pro fighters for years, man.
Yes, and it's more than just. I think sometimes when you see like the Mayweathers, it becomes so much about the sport.
Yeah.
And the sport kind of gets in the way.
Yeah,
Whereas
100%.
like sometimes in martial arts, the art never, like the sport never passes the art. Right? So the art's always there.
Right.
So I think that helps sometimes when it comes like, you know, they change camps or like I need a different coach because it just becomes about.
I think
sport,
that's
you
why
know?
that's why I love MMA. I mean, but you do get guys that come up in an MMA gym, and then
Right.
you see the karate guys. Their demeanor's different. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
their
absolutely.
mindset's a little different. Their attitude's different.
Honestly, the first time I saw you walk out with a gi smiling,
Yeah.
I was like,
Karate gi? Was there karate?
I'm pretty sure it was part of it, and like and then you were smiling like that's my guy right there.
Man,
That's
I
exactly
walk
what
out
would do.
to Wonderboy by Tenacious D.
Yeah. That's a great one.
It is. It's not a song that fires you up, but it just puts a smile. It's like perfect for me. It puts a smile on my face, and everybody loves that song. So it's like.
I had it in my head that when I saw you, I was gonna do it, and I saw you, and I was like, no, I can't. I couldn't pull it out.
Oh man, this has been great, man. I'm glad you
Wonderful.
guys got to come
Yeah,
by,
this is
man,
awesome.
and train, get some sparring in. Sorry, my freaking hamstrings messed up. We'll definitely got to do it again and get some good stuff in.
Yeah.
Get some tricking in for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We-
100%.
If you're down, I've got some stuff that won't involve your legs.
Oh, let's go.
So what we want to do is a Bruce Lee off.
A Bruce Lee
We
off.
have nunchucks and ping pong balls.
Yep.
Shut your
Nunchucks,
butt.
ping pong.
Ooh, 2,
Crush it right now.
3, 4. He's gonna miss both of these.